Hey, what's up? How is everyone doing? Mystic at the Crossroads. All right, so tonight's video is going to be all about finding a new home. This spell is ideal if you are wanting or needing to move and you either need assistance in finding the right place, so you want to find the place that has all the bells and whistles, from affordability to location to exactly what you want. Or if you've already found a place but you need help in making sure that you are able to purchase or be approved to rent, then this spell is for you. There's a few ingredients here that you're going to need. I will list them all down below, but I'm going to go over them one by one and how to prepare your candle. The first thing I do want to say with this particular spell, like with most things, but this one particularly, we want to be very realistic. So if you're doing this to find a place to live or to, kind of open up the type of place that you want to be available to you, you need to really, first of all, know what you want, but be practical. So what I mean by that is, don't do this spell asking for a mansion or a 6-bedroom home if the income that you have right now can only afford you a 2 or 3-bedroom home. Okay, we don't want to be unrealistic unless you're going to do some candle work specifically to change your financial situation so that you can afford that. And that's a completely separate video. All right. So this isn't for the dream house if that's not what you can afford. If it is what you can afford and that's what you want, then hey, this is great. But I just want you to be realistic. So if you're not in a place to purchase, maybe right now all you can do is rent a 2-bedroom apartment, even though, maybe it's your credit or maybe it's your finances, or you just may not be in the position right now to purchase, and that, then let's not use this to buy a house when we know we can only afford a studio apartment, okay? I'm just saying. Not to say that, it can't work, but sometimes people ask for things that even to them, it's difficult for them to believe it can happen. And then what happens is that slows it down and makes it harder to obtain. So, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Be practical, be realistic about what your current situation is. If it's finances, so maybe, you found an apartment that, let's just hypothetically say it's $1,800 and you can comfortably afford $1,500, then yeah, you can add a candle to this, maybe a money candle or a road opener candle, to open up an opportunity to supplement that additional income if that's the place that you really, really, really want. Maybe your credit is less than perfect and it's the perfect place and you can afford it and everything's great, but your credit is kind of sketchy. Then you can maybe add a blockbuster candle to this, or maybe something to make the owner be willing to work with you because of the credit situation. But again, those are additional candles, and that's not what we're going to do in this video. So this is simply to help you either find the place that you want or get approved for the place that you want, given that all the other ducks are kind of in a row. All right, so what you're going to need is a brown candle. This can be, as you can see in the 7-day glass, it can be a stick candle or it can be a brown figure candle in your gender. Either one is perfectly fine. I like working with the 7-day candles because every day that a candle burns, the energy is stronger. Pertaining to the request, and these are a little bit easier to find. If you can find, brown in another form, go ahead and use it, but I just find that this is probably a little bit easier to find at a local Botanica versus some of the other candles, unless you order one. All right, you are going to need some Crown of Success oil. I'm sorry about the lighting in here, you guys. The lighting, I'm working on fixing it, is not that great. This is some Crown of Success oil. I tell you, this video does this oil no justice. It's absolutely beautiful. It smells amazing. This is my newest oil that I just made and is available on my website, and this is to add success to your spell. So you want this to be successful. You want to be successful in finding the place that you want with everything that you want it to have for the price that you want and that you're able to get it. So Crown of Success oil. You are going to need some herbs. You're going to need some catnip, because catnip is an attracting herb. A lot of people are familiar with using catnip in love spells, but catnip can be used as an attracting agent to almost any type of spell work. You want to use some powdered cinnamon. Cinnamon is another attracting herb, but because it's a spice, it also adds a little flair. It speeds things up, so it makes things happen for you a lot quicker. So especially if this is something where you're ready to move, you know, you need to find a place sooner rather than later, maybe time is of the essence, or you know, whatever the case may be, you want this to happen faster, you can add some cinnamon. This can also be substituted with ginger, powdered ginger, but I like the cinnamon. You're gonna need some star anise, one of my favorite roots herbs to work with. It's in the shape of a star, and you'll need one of those. If you find this in the powdered form, that's fine as well. I'm just working with what I have on hand, so any of these can be substituted for the powdered form if you like. And then you want to use some bay leaf. Bay leaf is great for making wishes come true. It's great for financial success, prosperity, but we want to add a little bit of bay leaf because number one, of course, we want the finances to be there. You need money in order to move, and we really want to make the wish and the desire for the type of place that you want to manifest. You will also need some glitter, some gold glitter, but you could also use red or green. Those are the three best colors for attracting, and glitter makes everything look a little bit prettier. It also gets the attention of the angels in the spiritual realm, and it just adds a little boost of attraction properties, okay? If you're working with your herbs in the dry form, then you will need a mortar and pestle to try to grind them up. They can be done in a coffee grinder, but you know, you really want to put your intentions and your energy into this, and the best way to do that is to grind them up by hand. If a mortar and pestle is just totally not an option, then you can literally physically do it by hand. It's just going to take a little bit longer. All right, you're going to need a piece of paper, a pen, and some incense or some Palo, excuse me, not Palo Santo, I'm burning Palo Santo, or some Florida water. So, oh, and I almost forgot, you're going to need some magnets, either some magnets or some magnetic lodestones, and these are very powerful. This is to draw something to you, to magnetize something to you. And these aren't very expensive. The price tag is still on here. These are about $4 at my Botanica, but you can also get some magnets from a local dollar store or something like that. You will need to get some magnetic sand, which you should be able to order that maybe on Amazon, but check with your local metaphysical store and see if they have any. All right, so what I always do before I get started, I don't always do this in my videos, but I do it beforehand, is I like to rinse my hands off. I've been doing readings all day. I just had a client to leave here about 20 minutes ago, and I just want to make sure that my energy is cleansed. I always add a little Florida water. I just rub kind of around my neck and just, oh, it helps me feel really refreshed. You can also clean your candle with Florida water. This is the way that I do it. And I'm making a mess, but that's okay. Florida water on my hands, and I rub down because I want to remove any energy that this candle has picked up from the previous people that have touched it. Okay. That's always kind of how I do it. Another option is you can use your incense smoke and hold your candle over the incense for a few seconds and allow the smoke to clean it. This is Palo Santo I'm burning, so this candle is extra cleansed with you know, whoever else has handled it. So I've now smudged it and used the Florida water. I also like to clean, so I had made some breakup powder with this earlier, and I don't want that energy in here. I wiped the inside of this out with some alcohol, but we're definitely not trying to break us up from the house. We're trying to bring it to us, so we're just going to kind of smudge this for a second. Cleanse away any negative energy. Cleanse away any energies from the previous work. And I always just kind of talk to my items and just say, I just said right now, you know, to cleanse away any negative energy and cleanse away any energy that it may have picked up from the essence of the other herbs. Not that, of course, I put negative energy into it, but like I said, I had a client here. I was making breakup powder that is a baneful, magic, kind of a, you know, darker energy, and we don't want that going into this candle. All right, so now that your candle is cleansed, what you're going to want to do is you want to start adding your herbs. So I'm going to start with the catnip. I don't measure anything. I kind of just pinch and pour. And I'm going to get myself a little handful. Not very much. Let me see if I can adjust this light so you guys can see how much I'm using. You can see. You see that? Very little. Just enough to dress my candle. So I'm actually going to move my candle out the way for a second. Add my catnip, and as I'm adding it, I am holding the intention this catnip is going to, that this catnip is going to use its magical energy to attract to me the home that I want. And I'm just saying, I'm blessing these herbs, and you can say the ideal home, or if there's a specific place, maybe you've seen it already and you want it, you can recite the address to the place. Or the, you know, if you don't know the exact address, the street corner that it's on. Cinnamon. I'm a little heavy-handed with the cinnamon. And each and every time I put a new herb in, I bless them individually by placing my hand and saying a few words of intention. The star anise. Now, you don't have to do this, but I get a little particular sometimes with certain things, so I'm making sure that I pull one out specifically that is in the shape of a star and it's not missing any of its little points. So we'll put that back. Bay leaf. So I'm going to take one bay leaf that's going to go in here, and then I'm going to take 3 additional bay leaves out to place around my candle, and I'll show you how I do that. So the bay leaf, I'm gonna break it up. Uh-oh, got flying bay leaves everywhere. Take that tag off of me. All right. Okay, I'm going to take my mortar and pestle and I'm going to start working on this. The star anise is rather hard, so that one you got to give a good little, flying one, you're going to have to give that a good little, put some muscle into it. And I'm going to go around, I'm going clockwise, because clockwise is to bring in. Some people feel differently about doing that, but that's the way I've always done it. That's how I was taught. Okay. Trying to just take a look at it. Now, these may not grind up super fine. I mean, if I were to grind them up super fine, I'd probably be sitting here for 20 minutes, and I don't have that kind of time on this video. But I'm gonna try to get it the best that I can. The star anise, like I said, is rather difficult, so if you want it to be super powdery, you can, but the purpose of grinding them up together is really putting the energy and putting the intentions into them, mixing them together so that they're like a little potion. All right, so now I have my candle, and I'm gonna reach in. Yeah, these aren't as fine as I would like them to be, but that's okay. My phone's also about to die, so I'm trying to get through this video. clockwise. And just a little bit more. I do things in threes for some things, so we'll add that in there. Here's a tip. Oh gosh, my lighting is so bad. You see how these herbs are super close to the wick? You want to move them away, because if you keep them there, the herbs are going to ignite the top of the candle, and you could potentially cause a problem, and we don't want any problems with our candles. Or sometimes they'll end up causing the candle to burn black, and then you'll be like, oh my God, there's negative energy around my new home candle. And it's like, no, it's not. It's just that the stuff was too close to the wick. So fire safety first. I also, before I light it, I'm going to trim this wick down. I don't have any scissors handy, but I will be trimming the wick down. So now that I've done that, I'm going to take my Crown of Success oil. I like to get some energy going. Hold this. Crown of Success oil. So you can say something like, Crown of Success oil, bring success to my spell. Aid me in making my wish come true for the home at, and you can say the address, or for finding the ideal perfect home for me and my family to relocate to. Whatever is, you know, right for you. Give it a good shake. Pour, you don't need very much, just pour a little bit in here. You don't want to overdo it, because then the candle will sometimes not burn properly, I should say. Put some oil on your hands, bottom up, and anoint your candle from the bottom up, turning it towards yourself clockwise, and setting the intention, making sure that the oil around the top of the candle goes around. Place your top, because you do not want to spill this amazing goodness. Okay. Add your glitter. Now you want to write out your petition paper. I'm using green. This is an optional step. I like green for attracting. You do not have to use green, so if you don't have a green pen, don't go crazy. You don't have to run out and buy one. Use what you have at home, black, red, blue, whatever. If all you have is a pencil, that's okay too, but preferably a pen. So I'm just going to write my name if this was for me, but if it was for you, you write your name, okay? So this is just an example. I'm just going to use my name as an example. So Jasmine Atten, and my birthday, and then I will write out specifically if there was an address in mind, if there was a place, you know, I'd put down the address, but if not, I would just say thank you, because I always start my petition papers off with thank you, as if it's already happened, for bringing me the perfect home in the perfect location for $1,000 a month. I don't know. Or whatever it is in your neighborhood. So if you know apartments go for $1,200 or whatever, that's what you write. Okay, my name, my birthday. Thank you for bringing me the perfect home in the perfect location for $1,000 a month. Very simple, right? Paper, candle. This is where you're going to take your bay leaves, because they make wishes come true. Place your bay leaves around your candle, like so, in a triangular form, like that. And then your magnets, or your magnetic lodestone, these are just regular magnets. You're going to place them in front of your candle. These are already fed with magnetic sand. And since this is metal, it's like really sticking to it. So we're going to do that. And we're done. Voila. All you have to do now is trim your wick, if it's this long. If it's not, then you're fine, but I'm going to trim my wick. And then I'm going to take this candle, place it on my altar, wherever your sacred space is, or whatever space you have to burn your candles, light it, okay? The best time to do this spell is either during on a new moon or during a waxing moon. You can download a moon app or Google when the waxing moon phase is. For this, any particular day of the week, really, as long as you're in the waxing moon phase. If you want to get technical and down to which day of the week is best for a new home, you can do that. I want to say it's Saturday, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I didn't check that before I did this video, but you can if you want to. I've seen this work, you know, without it being down to the day, but that's a personal preference. Optional is you can always add a photo of the building. So like I said, if you found an apartment that you want, you could take a picture of the building or the front door, print it out and place it under here. You can definitely do that. Or just the outside of the building, you know, if you can't get that close to it. And then you want to allow this to burn down. I personally don't put my candles out when I leave, but you know, you want to be cautious. So if you have to go to work or just leave for a few hours, then just take something and simply snuff your candle out. Never blow it out, but just cover it till the flame goes down. And then when you get home, go ahead and relight the candle and just speak your words of intention or say your prayer over this again. How to dispose of this, because this is a glass candle, I simply rinse my glass candles out and I throw them away. If you did this with a wax candle, so like a figure candle or a stick candle, then an option would be taking the candle back to the property and trying to bury it somewhere. So stick it in a bush, you know, if it's the type of place where you can actually walk up to the property and kind of stick it down in the dirt. If that's not an option, that's okay, then just place the wax. I would put it under my mattress or someplace where my energy is to attract that particular place to you. If you don't know where the place is and you haven't found it yet, then that's fine too. You can simply just keep the wax until the place comes to you. You could even wrap it up in some fabric, make it a little mojo bag and carry it with you as you're doing your home or apartment search. Last but not least, another option is if you did for some reason find the ideal place that you want, collecting a little dirt from the property, so front yard or maybe the backyard if that's where you're looking around, or the front of the building if it's an apartment or something, and you could add that into the candle if that is an option, okay? But if not, it's okay. This will still be very effective. All right, so I hope this video helps you guys. I hope it helps someone find their ideal and perfect home. Very simple, extremely effective if you follow these steps. Yeah, if you guys are interested in the Crown of Success oil, it is on my website at oneritualaway.com. I will be sure to put a link down in the description box. I will list all of the ingredients that I used, and if you'd like to speak to me for a consultation, you can schedule that also through my website at oneritualaway.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate you guys. Let me know if this was helpful. Give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all soon. Good night.